mean, they already got me halfway shadow banned. I don't think they could shadow ban me anymore for me telling the truth. So here goes nothing and everything at the same time. Passion public service announcement. Passionate. Let me tell you something. So what is this Passion PSA podcast? Who am I? Well, they call me Passion, short for passion, no last necessary. Why is there no last name necessary? Because the first name says it all. I am Passion and all that embodies. What do I do here? I give you the life coaching that you know you need, but don't enroll yourself in. When did I start? Actually, 2017. I'd leave a PSA on my Instagram regarding something I'd observed, and now we've evolved to this. Why do I do it? Why not? If even one person is able to take away one thing that changes their life, someone else's life, or changes the world for the better, then I've done what I was charged to do. So come on in, sit and listen for a while. There's something here for everyone at the Passion PSA podcast. Y'all see the shirt, right? Greetings and salutations, my beloved Passionates, newcomers, visitors, and guests. Welcome to another episode of the Passion PSA podcast, where I, passion, no last necessary, your get you right guru. I feel like the mic is too low. Issue a weekly public service announcement about whatever I've observed or was on my mind. This is a for your consideration zone where the objective is to offer you a perspective you may not have previously considered to A, expand your thinking, and B, aid you in becoming a better version of yourself for yourself and for others. This is a safe space, but not necessarily a delicate one. I'll never rob you of your right to feel what you feel. Same way I won't sugarcoat the truth to make it more palatable. The goal is to get you to higher, more expanded thinking so you can operate as your highest and best self. If you're new here, affirmations are our first order of business so we can intentionally raise the vibration and start on one accord. Let's get on the same frequency. If you're ready, go ahead and take a deep breath. You are always welcome to repeat after me or to use this time to state your own affirmations. I am persistent. I am unstoppable. I am undefeated. I am indomitable. I am built for this. I am courageous. I am brave. I am irrepressible. My pursuit is dogged. I am enduring. I am excited. I am well. Whatever it is well. All is well. And well is all. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So, wine, passion, Miss Raise Your Vibration and Speak Life. Why would you name this episode Why You Shouldn't Start a Podcast? So, since I started doing this podcast, I've gotten several requests for mentorship in this space, which I appreciate, but one person had asked me, I can't be 100% certain, but I am fairly sure they felt like I just snubbed them. Totally not the case. I'm not the person to mislead someone just to hustle a few dollars out of them, not even if they're volunteering to pay me for whatever piece of knowledge I may have. I personally feel like that's robbing my own karmic bank, for one. And for two, when I'm ready to put a price tag on my offering, the person inquiring can refuse to pay because they don't want to, but they won't be able to say that I'm not worth my price. Amen, saints. So now, if you've been here in this space long enough, you remember that I did a whole episode with Shangri, I believe that was in season 2, where I basically allowed her to interview me and ask me what starting a podcast involved for me. In the latter portion of the episode, the tables turned and it turned into a life coaching session. Now, I'm not going to reiterate everything I said in that episode, but since I have been asked repeatedly since said episode, and since some of what I learned thus far on this journey is beneficial, regardless of what you're pursuing, whether it's podcasting or anything else, cookie making shoes, I'm going to share a few tips, and then we're going to have tea time as to what really happened that inspired this episode, okay? For the newbies, sometimes when I tell a story, I take the scenic route. It's more exciting that way. If you have a short attention span and you tap out too soon, you're going to miss the best part. No worries, though. Eventually, there'll be clips posted on the social so you can get it in spoonfuls later. Okay. Do's and don'ts. Don't get into anything for the money unless you are already well seasoned in the space and already have clientele or following. Why?
it is very disheartening to watch and listen to other people talk about how they're monetized and making money hand over fist while you're pouring dollar after dollar in and you're barely getting paid in attention or compliments. Heavy on the barrel. If you are looking to something, if you are looking to start something that you're doing completely on your own, don't. Even one other set of committed hands is going to make a significant difference. It's easy to be the talent when there's a production team in place doing the heavy lifting. It's not necessarily easy, but it's easier to be the talent and still be on the production side when you at least have some support. When you're doing it on your own, everything you can't pay for in dollars, you have to pay for it in sweat equity. If you're not one of those people who's extremely organized, you're already starting at a disadvantage. Every job has multiple functions, right? So everything you think you're going to do real quick, like you learn real quick, fast, and in a hurry, that for the one thing you did do, there were 10 things you didn't do. And about 8 of them either stop the show or slow it down drastically. Non-podcast example, food service. You have front of the house and you have back of the house. Even in a takeout only environment, this is an ideal setup. Why? How many of you have gone to one of those establishments where you walked in and it's a whole unemployment line of people waiting for their food because the person on the register is also the runner, the server, and the expediter? I went across town to a restaurant on my lunch break.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
On my lunch break. But anyway, I went because I wanted a roti. They have done all kinds of stupidity in the streets. So where there was no place to park before, now there's no place to park, no place to double park, no place to drive, no place to exist. Anyway, I walked into the restaurant. There are like 10 people in the space, but they've all already ordered. I'm like, everybody already ordered? There's hope. The lie detector determined that was a lie. Homeboy taking orders was also going in the back and cooking. Now, was there somebody back there? Does it matter? It's 2 people working, 10 people waiting, no telling how many things already ordered, and my lunch is only an hour. How does that relate to what we're talking about? Easier with at least one person, but far from easy. Imagine now he's the only one cooking, cleaning dishes as he goes, restocking, taking orders and pay, maintaining the lobby, taking out garbage, running out to pick something up if something runs out. And after all that, the day isn't over when the doors close because the books have to be managed, the back of the house cleaning has to be done, front of the house, doors locked, gates dropped, and after all that, if he forgets any one thing, any range of kablooey pow-pow situations could happen, and it's still only him to shoulder that burden. Point is, whatever you're embarking on, if you're doing it alone, a labor of love becomes a lot more labor than love real quick. Now, let's say you have people in place. Do ensure that they are in it and confirm why. Your baby is yours. People respect verbal agreements until it's inconvenient or until it's recorded somewhere and you can sue them for reneging. What is their commitment to the project? They're willing to be held accountable to perform ABC duties for R rate of turnout for P period of time. They are willing to do it for free because they gain experience. They are willing to do it because they need the production credit. They are willing to do it for D dollars per T time frame. They'll participate as support, but not as a lead. Important distinction. They'll do that in exchange for promotion of their brand. All of this needs to be established. So when life happens and they think the friendship trumps the business, the contract is in place to say, sorrows and prayers, but this is what you agreed to. Your friends will leave you holding the bag, and whether or not they apologize for leaving you in a lurch, that won't change the fact that they may have left you in a predicament of epic proportions. When you start moving different, they'll also conveniently forget they left you in a lurch or casually dismiss the fact that they left you down bad like it really wasn't that big of a deal. Save your friendships. Hire externally. This leads me to the next do. Do think very carefully if you're comfortable jeopardizing your friendship, if you're building your working team from your friends. People have ways that as an employee or a teammate, you'd fire them immediately. But when you fire your friends, most of the time, they don't want to be your friend no more. We talked about that in season 1. Phenomenal episode. Definitely go check that out after you watch this. Amen. Also, major key and offensive truth, you may be awful to work with or for. You don't know that because you're not having the impact on you that you're having on them. You're going to still be their friend if they decide they don't want to work with you. If they tell you,
as a friend, as a sibling, as a parent, or a child, you are a dream come true. As an employer, you a cheap bastard and a slave driver, and I don't know why anyone would want to work for you.
because that would probably either infuriate you beyond words or crush your spirit. But would they be wrong? Remember that one person can be two things at the same time. A horrible husband can be an amazing father. A wretch of a sister can be a superior friend, which leads me to the next do, and that's going to carry us straight into a don't. Do allow yourself to be all of yourself. Example. For the most part, this podcast is very serious and forces us to deal with ourselves in ways that make us uncomfortable. We chuckle here and there, but we don't necessarily come here to have a whole lot of fun. Legitimately, the conversations I have with you are the conversations I have with my friends daily. In fact, those conversations inspire probably 50% of these episodes, right? Whatever
Things I have observed
or have been on my mind. Also, legitimately, and with some of those very same friends, the turn up is maximal, the behavior is minimal, and the laughs and shenanigans are abundant. And I am equal parts of these ingredients. When people ask me,
oh my goodness, why are you always so serious?
I really be ready to full scale black on them. Because some of the people that ask me that know all too well that I play all day. Like, come on, B. But I've come to realize that it's not how serious I am. It's more how quickly the temperature changes because I'm extreme. So we can be bowled over laughing and 10 seconds later, pot done. That's another do. But we're going to put a bookmark right there, okay? The point for this is do allow yourself to be you. Don't let people pigeonhole you into one thing because that's what they like. This goes back to the should episode. Sometimes I feel like more people enjoy my passion public service announcements because even though there's a real message and something for you to think about, the sarcasm and the funnies make it more enjoyable. You want more cake, but you need to stop eating sugar.
Hello.
So to get you right, guru side of passion is mean mommy. And the passion public service announcement side of passion is fun auntie. And y'all can't make me be more or less of either because I'm 100% of both. And both are absolutely needed. Andre 3000 want to play his flute and y'all want him to rap. He can do both. Or he can choose to do what he wants to do. And so can you. Just remember that it's your choice to share the different parts of you, and it's their choice what they're going to gravitate to or support. Don't let them make you feel like this other thing that you do or love is valueless, and don't make them feel bad about not valuing everything that you do or love. And don't even worry about it. I'm not even talking to y'all at this point. I'm just talking to myself, okay? Moving on. Going back to our bookmark, do realize that entrepreneurship on any level is only a journey to build a business on the surface. Under the surface, whether it's a podcast or a cookie company, entrepreneurship is a journey to meeting yourself. Plot twist, you may not like who you meet. When you do it alone, especially when you do it alone, if you're self-aware, your shortcomings become highlighted but not corrected. Let me zoom in.
Your shortcomings become highlighted but not corrected.
What am I saying? I'm saying that I'm a last minute Laura in almost everything, right? That is highlighted every time there's an episode to be released. Sometimes I start real strong. I start writing or speak and transcribe early in the game. But how many times has a Tuesday at 10 p.m. turned into Tuesday at 11 p.m., Wednesday at 12 a.m., Wednesday at 5:55 p.m., or a week or two later? Like today. Starting the business isn't going to make you more responsible. It'll show you where you're lacking and remind you regularly that if you don't make changes, you'll be on this hamster wheel indefinitely, or the wheel will spin out of control. Things will go kablooey pow pow, and you'll be writing me a listener letter asking how to put the pieces back together. So again, do know that this is as much a journey to self-discovery as it is a journey to self-correction, self-repair, and self-actualization. Starting your business will either be your therapy or cause you to end up in therapy. Also, do know that hiring people doesn't make you or the situation better if the people that you onboard need you to be on point in order for them to perform. Remember in season 4 when my sis said that she would do my thumbnails for me? Yo, I was amped. But she can't do my thumbnails if I don't have the photo ready in advance. I like to use something from the episode. This goes back to want versus need and want to do versus what's best or most effective. What would have made sense was a photo shoot with a stack of pics that she could use, and all I'd have to do is give her a statement to use on a cover. And that's fine. And that worked. But there were more times than a few where I didn't provide her what she needed until I finished the episode, which was at the last minute. So that puts her under pressure to perform, and in the most audacious way. She said she was willing to help. Not that she was sitting around with nothing to do, waiting for me to send her graphics and whatever else. And don't get it confused. She didn't abandon me or quit. I realized that I wasn't performing optimally to receive the help that was being offered. So I took it back into my own hands. And we're very much still friends. I see you, sis, and I love you. But you see how this point ties back in with the onboarding friends? So now let's tie another knot in that same rope. The last point was to know that this is a journey to self-discovery. Okay, do know who you are and where you are right now. When starting a business, people tell you to know your why. Baby, you better know yourself, okay? Do you have commitment issues? Do you have some type of attention deficit? Do you have crippling anxiety and or depression that will keep you in the bed under the covers and unable to function for days at a time? Do you have a lot on your plate already that you barely managing? Do you start things with poor follow through? None of these are reasons to not try something new. You probably thought I was going to say the opposite, right? The point isn't to give yourself an excuse not to start. The point is to be real with yourself about what it's going to require to really make this work. If you're undisciplined, you need to work on that. If you're inconsistent, you don't want to start a podcast for real. You want to make occasional long form content. If you're defensive and sensitive to criticism, you need to onboard a media manager who can respond to your comments so you don't cancel yourself. Well, Passion, real quick, isn't this the same as this being a journey to self-discovery or whatever? Negative. There are things you already know about yourself that you need to be honest with yourself about. What you will uncover down the line may end up being a whole other book, never mind a chapter. Point is, know where you're starting as an individual and even with what you have. Equipment and a set are great, but they're not the end all at all. So, okay, equipment. Do invest in yourself and get the equipment. Don't put yourself in a hole trying to get a bunch of stuff you don't need, don't use, or don't know how to work for real. People are shooting whole movies with the phone they already own, $7 lavalier mics, and sunlight. I've seen several episodes of a podcast that gets well over 100,000 views every episode. And every episode, the sound is doing a hokey pokey.
The sound goes in and then the sound goes out and then the sound comes in. And sometimes it's too loud.
Viewers are commenting about it. The show hosts aren't responding to the comments, and they must not be using headphones when they shooting, or they would be catching these glitches. I mean, at least one would think. Don't go broke trying to buy $1,000 mics and $5,000 cameras when you still haven't mastered the 10 settings in your phone camera. Don't put all your time and attention on equipment, lighting, and the shot if your content, your subject matter, if that needs work. I'd much rather listen to and watch content where the subject feeds my soul than well-lit, perfectly angled trash. Now, I could be alone in that, but I'm not. Next, and this isn't a rule or a law, this is a personal opinion. There's enough gossip and divisive content available, and yeah, it gets views. Yeah, it gets people talking. But they ain't talking about nothing really worth listening to for real. They're not talking about moving anything forward. They're talking to make noise. Argue with yourself. Please do something else, okay? Talk about something substantive, I beg. Last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. Do not be disheartened or discouraged when your content isn't getting views. This is actually how this episode was born. Story time, folks. I mean, they already got me halfway shadow banned. I don't think they could shadow ban me anymore for me telling the truth. So here goes nothing and everything at the same time. So 2 weeks ago, I did the episode responding to listener feedback. Now on TikTok, I haven't been as consistent or as present as on Instagram. And last year, I did a social experiment to see how episode viewership would change if I wasn't posting clips from the episode. A little backstory. I have never posted a full episode of this podcast anywhere but YouTube and Podbean prior to March 14th of this year. And I still didn't technically post a full episode elsewhere. I actually went live on IG and I held my phone to my computer and let the episode play. Why? People tell me consistently that they watch all my episodes of the podcast. When I ask them if they're subscribed on YouTube, they tell me
No, I watch them on IG.
when I say those are just clips, they're not full episodes, often they ask,
Where can I watch the full episodes?
an emergency. From that perspective, we're going to talk about it today. But let's refer solely back to the language he used. We could have absolutely gotten nothing if your beliefs are contradictory on that level. It serves to reason why your language is contradictory as well. And
I'm telling you, you will have an amazing time. They will treat you so much better.
So one, this tells me they're not even watching the clips in entirety. And two, they're not paying attention to what's actually on the screen. When I decided to do the listener feedback response, I decided that I would run a test and actually post a full episode on TikTok and the gram. TikTok would not let the episode spin for almost 3 days. Instead, they kept giving me the option to promote the content and pay D amount of dollars for V amount of views. I couldn't bend my mind around it. I kept checking and checking to see what was going on. So I ended up talking to my good sis about it because I was somewhere between stunned and infuriated. So I'm going to read the posts out loud for the people who are listening and can't see. Meanwhile, I made a post and TikTok played me so bad, I'm writing an episode about it.
It didn't post?
6 hours and mad data to upload only for them to not spin it. Instead, they're offering me to pay them to show it to a lot of people. And of course, you can see here is the 10% off coupon. And you see the message underneath says, yesterday, the coupon was 30%. Peep game. So the day before, they were offering me a 30% discount. But then the following day, since I didn't take up that offer, they started offering me the 10% discount. So then I asked her to go onto my page and see what was the last post that she could see from me and take a screenshot of it. I then, after she sent me what she saw, I showed her what was the last thing I posted. And as you can see, there are 0 spins. So she said,
Whoa.
and I said, imagine suggesting someone post their podcast and when they do, freezing it, making it unavailable, then offering them to pay for spins. To which she responded,
Extortion.
and I said, child, racketeering. So the more I thought about it, the more I felt compelled to not only document it, but share it, which is how we ended up here. In the process of me documenting what I was seeing, I found that TikTok had also removed the sound from my Juneteenth post. So y'all, I posted this video on TikTok and I posted it yesterday. It's gotten 0 spins, no views, no nothing. So I've been trying to figure out what was going on, right? So when I was looking from my phone, it was giving me basically the option to be able to buy views, right? If you pay this amount of money, we'll let this many thousands of people see it
in a day. If you pay this amount of money, we'll allow this amount of thousands of people to see it in a day. I came over to my iPad because I was determined to get this uploaded. I uploaded the episode, what I was trying to post. I uploaded the same thing on Instagram, no issues. I'm looking at my TikTok from my iPad, right? So I'm noticing that the sound is off from the Juneteenth celebration, right? So I click on it and I'm like, okay, where's the sound? I don't have any sound, right? I say, okay, let me go to sound removed, view details. I come here, sound removed, because this sound violates our community guidelines, right? Now, there was no music posted to this, right? So it's giving me the option to change sound, right? Look here where it says original sound, right? Okay. So we go to volume. The added sound, if I turn that down, I can turn it down. But guess what I can't do? I can't turn my own voice up. So what I had to say on Juneteenth is a violation of TikTok policy. You don't have to be a celebrity to be somebody who's saying something so worthwhile that people are going to try to stop you everywhere you are, everywhere you go, at every turn, because they do not want you to be heard. Because there's absolutely no reason for anything I said in this video for the sound to be blocked. That is weird. So I'm going to now look from my phone and I'm going to see if I see the same result. And if I do, then we know I'm not bugging. This is a real thing. This is really happening, which is absolutely insane to me. Sit tight. I'm going to be right back. So now I'm looking from my iPad, right? And I'm looking at my phone. Where's my finger? Here's my finger. You see it? You see it? There's no sound. So they turned the sound off on my video and said that it was a violation of community guidelines, but there's no music. So what I had to say, and the only song that I sang on that video was is a Negro spiritual. So y'all dead took the sound. So my voice is a violation of community guidelines. I need to be clear on this. My voice, my actual thoughts, because the AI generate anything. I don't even know how to, and I'm not interested in learning. My actual thoughts and my voice are a violation of community guidelines or my celebration of Juneteenth. Which one? Make it make sense. So keep that in mind, passionates. People will try to block you at every turn. They will try to block you at every turn, on every side, from every direction, especially when you have something to say that's going to either awaken the people or stir the people to do things. They've been doing this to me my whole life. We'll talk about that at another time, but I just wanted you to put this in your back pocket. Go forth, be great, be filled with bliss, be armed and empowered with knowledge. Be mindful that anything that I tell you, especially when I say that closing, that I say that very intentionally, okay? Be great. Be filled with bliss and peace and joy, but be armed and empowered with knowledge. Know what you up against. Know what you're dealing with. Know that you're not bugging, because there's absolutely no reason for some of the things that are happening to be happening, and yet they're happening. And everybody's going to tell you, oh, no, it's because of this, and oh, no, it's because of that, and oh, no, it's because of this, and oh, no, it's because of that. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Instagram may or may not spin my original content. Views don't mean that people are watching the whole thing. It means they stayed just long enough for Instagram to capture it. Views don't mean likes, and no likes doesn't mean disinterest. No views doesn't mean disinterest. 90% of what's coming up on my Instagram now is sponsored ads and suggestions. It's so rare that I see posts from people that I actually follow. I sometimes forget I'm following them. So I can imagine the same thing is happening to some of my followers. TikTok is definitely giving censorship energy. YouTube, first of all, shout out to the near 377 channel subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. Unfortunately, all the subscribers don't get notifications. I'm not talking about the ones who don't have their notifications turned on. I'm talking about the ones who have their notifications turned on and are anxiously awaiting new episodes. Those passionates are literally having to go to my channel to look to see if an episode is posted. People are getting notifications 4 and 5 days after the episode airs. People aren't getting notifications for the premieres. Keep in mind, premieres, advanced scheduling, telling subscribers to like, comment, and share are all things that YouTube suggests to increase your visibility and jog the algorithm. And it seems like the algorithm is jogging right past my block. So I took the initiative to create a WhatsApp chat for people that I know who may or may not get notifications so that they're always aware. I've thought about doing the short code text. All of that is money and more time. Do I mind making the investment? Not at all. But look at all the tools that are supposed to be effective and free on their own that aren't generating much. They're only generating more ways for me to have to spend money to make it happen. Passionate, you want to know how to start a podcast and what it requires? The same thing anything worthwhile requires. Patience, dedication, grit, resolve, ability to fall down 7 times and get up 8, ability to get slapped in the face, figuratively, of course, because very much knuck if you buck. But the ability to get slapped in the face and beat in the head by the platforms and the supporters and still keep creating. The ability to stay the course and not start stripping yourself of your dignity, feeling like you have to expose yourself sexually for traction. It requires being in love with your content and trusting your skill set or talent enough to believe that your tribe is indeed out there. And even though the people around you are doing less than the least to help you get anywhere, if you stay consistent, you will absolutely get further than you could have ever imagined. Now, it might take using some PTO and even using the time that's supposed to be spent having fun while on vacation, using that time to create. It may require you to work on the content you create and your little janky posts that were fun and cute before, requiring curation. It may require you to just plug headphones with a long cord into your phone jack and just start talking. And then when you finish, hit post. The bottom line is that it requires different things from different people, because different people are doing different things with different goals and intentions. You may shoot to the top and be the subject of every conversation worth listening to. You may get shadow banned and told the only way you can get some views is if you pay for it. If any of that makes you say, yo, FTS, that's okay. But if you're still standing after all of that, listen to this last part of this PSA from July 4th. Don't be thwarted. If this is what you really want to do, and this is what you really feel like you are called or you are purposed to do, you're going to meet roadblocks and obstacles just like this. And you're going to have to stand 10 toes down. You're going to have to stand firm. You're going to have to stand tall, and you might have to stand alone. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do not allow anyone to silence you. Because the people that were unafraid to speak at whatever cost, even if they were ultimately silenced at some point down the line, the truth always comes out. The truth always makes itself known. The truth is always revealed. And everybody that was like, oh yeah, no, that person was a nut job. Oh no, that person was crazy. Guess what happens? Those same people be like, oh my God, they were right. Oh my God, look what they did to that person. That's crazy. In all things, be passionate. See you later. No housekeeping today. Your Get You Right Guru is signing off. Go forth. Be great. Be filled with bliss. Be armed and empowered with knowledge. Do something. Don't be stagnated by analysis paralysis. Don't be afraid to tell the truth. And in all things, be passionate. See you later.